This is a quorum?
It is.
Quorum.
Four.
We good?
Yeah, four's a quorum for us. Promise. We've got feedback going on. You've done it. Cool.
Okay, welcome everybody. We're now live, so please mind your P's and Q's. Let's start with a karakia.
Kakataka ki tu, kakataka taho ki te tona, kia mā ki te kinga ki uta, kia mā tautara ki tai, e hi ki ana, ki rata kora,
Hey, welcome everybody. Morning being broadcast on YouTube. And welcome all the members of the public watching this live stream. I'm filling in for Lynn today. It's not well.
So good.
Okay, just an acknowledgement before we get into it. We'd like to note the recent passing of Kate Ball, Allendale Reserve Committee. She had been on various community committees since 1990s, a regular attendee of meetings, always made a contribution to any discussion, was passionate about fairness to others and about the local environment. Another sad member passed on. So apologies, we have an apology from Lynn and Howard. So I haven't heard from Asif yet, I presume he's still on the way. Sorry?
Luana.
And Luana, no, I haven't heard from Luana either. Okay, so we have apologies for two. So could I have a mover, please, for that? Mover?
Well, I mean, I'll move an apology for lateness for Asif as well, and one for Luana.
Okay.
Yeah.
For lateness, yep.
Well, I don't know.
No, she said he was. Yeah, I thought she put it through,
But yeah.
So what are we moving in? We're moving Howard and Lynn?
Yeah, all of them.
All of them for apologies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we have a mover for that? Is that what do we think?
Well, I'll move that.
Yep.
I mean, I need a seconder.
Second. All in favour?
Aye.
Passed. Declarations of interest. You know the rules. You can state those as they come up during the meeting. Right, moving on to confirmation of the previous minutes. Is everyone read and are happy with them? Could I have a mover for that, please? Thank you. Seconder. Kathy, and all those in favour?
Aye.
Passed. Public forum. No, so shall we just move that on and
Yes,
just see if
if
we
he
can
arrives,
up?
I can go back.
Right. Deputations by appointment, no deputations. Presentations of petitions, there were no presentation of petitions. Reserve committee minutes. Now we'll move on for Linda. Linda, you talk to you?
She is.
Moving too quickly. Sorry about that, Linda. Yeah, we've got moved pretty quick.
Sorry. Reserve committee minutes.
Yes, if you could talk to them.
The Allendale Reserve Committee has finalised its triennial plan and reserve schedule, and these will be presented to the board's September meeting for approval and endorsement respectively. They are considering hosting a party to celebrate the reopening of the Allendale Core, which is expected to reopen around the 1st of September.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
You may have seen a story on the webpage about the very successful planting days on Udama Reserve. The Littleton Reserve Committee have managed to plant 1,000 trees with the help of volunteers, including local school children. So that's a great effort. Committee also reviewed and accepted its reserve schedule, which outlines in detail the reserves they co-manage. This will be coming to the board on the 9th of September for endorsement. And the Duvershire Reserve Committee held a meeting too. Staff are hoping to have a newly created position of Team Leader Banks Peninsula Campgrounds filled by October. This role will have each camp manager on the peninsula reporting to them and will enable better support of that team. A new Wi-Fi and camera system is being installed at the campground, with the initial infrastructure required expected to be installed by the end of September and the rest following. This equipment will bring the site into alignment with expectations around facility security and the ability to review that. It's expected that consultation about annual campground sites will begin over summer. That's
Very good. That's it.
my job.
Thank you, and welcome, Asif.
Yeah, thank you.
You're no longer an apology. Thank you. Okay, could I have a mover to accept the?
I've just got some questions.
Oh, some questions. Sorry,
if that's all right.
Yep.
Mr. Chair. So yeah, that was really good about the Littleton Reserve and the kids from the school
Yes.
getting up there. That seems to have been. I was actually talking to Bianca from the committee yesterday,
Right.
and she was sort of and apparently the school has a section of the reserves that they're kind of responsible for, which is really good. And there seems to be some kind of outreach, just working with the school and that sort of stuff. I'm just wondering, are we expecting the reserve committees to come and see us and give us the lowdown on what they've been up to? It'd be really quite nice to hear the bit about the engagement with the school.
Yeah.
Because then it can sort of filter through and have into our board sort of stuff and representing the council. Because I think it's a really positive step for that particular reserve, which has had its challenges over the years.
I can invite them to.
Yeah, that'd be good. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Comments? Very good. Okay, can we have a move for those, please? Okay, second. All those in favour? Passed. Acro Recreation Grounds and Peninsula Sports and Recreation Incorporated. Things moving along here, it's good. So
Yeah.
we've got someone joining us, yeah?
Yeah, Megan has arrived online. Some of her research. Is it possible for us to go on to the next item?
Okay. Should we coming in now? I'm just wondering, she might be able to hear us.
Megan's not here.
Not there? Okay, so we'll just park it up. We'll come back to that. So what time will we expect that? 10:25. We'll come back to that at 10:25. Okay, moving on then to strengthening communities applications. Just have someone on there.
Oh, Megan's just arrived.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Megan is right of here. Right. Here we go. Welcome, Megan. Can you hear us? I think you're on mute.
Yeah, I can hear you. Does that
Right.
okay? Apologies. I forget where all the buttons are to work Zoom.
Well, no, it's not easy.
So kia ora, the report that I've got at the board today is about a storage container for the Banks Peninsula Sports and Recreation Group. It's a lease variation within their current lease, and it's for storage of all the sports equipment that they're going to have for the AstroTurf that they're installing on their court. So the plan is that rather than leaving everything out on the court, they'll put everything away, and that gives them more opportunity to have a larger variety of sports rather than restricted by having permanent tennis nets and netball goals and those types of equipment. So yeah, that's what the report is today, is to for the community board to approve a variation to that lease so that they can put a storage container that will be cladded as per the imagery attached to the report. And they're going to coordinate their works alongside council's work to resurface the courts.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I actually went over and had a walk around it. And it's a very positive thing, and it doesn't obstruct anyone anywhere. So, any comments? Any questions?
No.
Yeah.
Happy to move. No questions.
And I'm happy to second it. But my question is, so I'm just saying it's obviously, Megan, you'll know that the sort of the history around this area and how it's kind of been delayed a bit over the years. So the approval subject to the group obtaining relevant resource and building consents exemptions. Is there any? I mean, how long is that kind of going to take? Do you reckon, just off the top of your head?
I think the advice that we've received recently from our building consent team is that they may not need an exemption, but it's more just to check if one's required. So I can do those checks for the group when I'm next back in the office. But generally, we always put that clause on any buildings or structures that are being installed by a group external to council, just to make sure that they're complying with those acts.
I think it's fairly straightforward.
Yeah.
I mean,
you just want to make sure things move as quickly as they can.
No, I hear you, Councillor. I think Reliance have to do it every time they've got other tests.
Right.
Yeah.
So an exemption. All right. So we have a mover and a seconder.
Yeah.
Any other discussion on that?
Thank you. We're pleased that council has provided that support letter. It will help the group to do the fundraising for the final round of fundraising. So they were quite happy with that. I had a chat with Jan, so thank you.
Yeah, and it's good to see that things are moving along there too.
Yes, I'd add, like, I mean, it's really good to, like, obviously lots happened in the last week, and thank you to staff and our governance staff for the work they've done there. And it's really, really positive to see that that's finally kind of unlocked and getting closer to completion. So brilliant, very exciting.
All right, so we have a mover and a seconder. All those in favour?
Right.
Great, passed. Thank you very much, Megan.
Thank you. Thanks for letting me join on Zoom.
No, that's great. Thank you for your work. No money. Now, where are we dodging around? Drinking communities. Sorry about that, sir.
No worries. I just my water.
Well, you nailed it.
I'll take the report as read. And I know you had a chance to look through the matrices, so just open all those questions you have on the applications.
Yep. So, are there any questions on the reports, guys?
We did circulate and ask the board for any questions, and we weren't any received,
No,
so
that's
we
fine.
assumed that
All right. So, can we have a mover then?
I did have some questions.
That's all right. Carry on.
Because there's a lot of information here.
Yeah.
A lot of work too. I suppose, I was interested in, after I looked through it, I thought, I was trying to get a picture in my head of what changes have been made since last year, and how things have been divvied up overall. And that wasn't easy. Well, I could have spent a lot more time on it, I suppose, to sort that out in my brain. But
It's not always clear.
And so I thought I noticed some changes, I suppose, from previous years, and didn't know why those changes had been made. And obviously there are reasons, but they raised questions in my mind. Like, for example, I noticed that the Littleton Rec Centre had in the past 3 rounds received quite a lot more money than was recommended this year, and same with the Littleton Information Centre. And another, so those have been the 2 main things I thought, oh, I wonder why this is. And well, yeah, and another thing I noticed which hadn't happened before was that Naval Point had applied for the salary for their manager, and they'd applied for a lot of money. I know that's what you do when you and then expect something less. But yeah, I suppose I'd be interested in comments about the changes to do with the rec centre and the information centre.
Yeah, that's no problem. So the rec centre, there's a few factors that go into that. So I mean, at the end of the day, we do have to balance the budget, so to speak. So the money has to, we have to make some tough choices. And with the rec centre, there's so they are quite a robust organisation, so they're more able to kind of find other means of fundraising. So they do pay for fundraising services. So they have the ability, unlike a lot of organisations, to make up shortfalls. So that's a factor we consider when making the decision. We don't want to reduce a group that then doesn't have the ability to make that up. So they've also got money in reserves. I think it's something like 50,000. So if they did have a shortfall, they have the ability to draw on that to make it up. There was also a group that, in terms of the application, the facility manager role, it wasn't as clear the community outcome in terms of activation. So what we've sort of said to them is we need to understand, quantify a bit better how our money is directly leading to activation and not just management of the facility, which doesn't have the strongest one with strengthening communities. And we're also undertaking a feasibility study with them, which will help us to understand how to support them better, and so that's part of that there. That's what we're paying for as well. And then the Littleton Information Centre, so they already receive a line item of $10,000 from us. So it was more just sort of bringing them in line with other similar sized organisations. So they're another one that, ideally we want to give more money to those organisations, but they're another one that we felt was better positioned to fundraise and already had, was receiving money from us to reduce them more in line with what the group received.
So there's a change, so this year compared to the last 3 funding rounds, it seems for both those organisations.
Yeah, so last year we did reduce them both. So last year we reduced Littleton from 10,000. So actually from 10,000 to 5,000. That was last year's funding round. I believe for the rec centre that was reduced as well. So they were receiving 20,000 previous years, and we reduced it to 17.5, and then this year we brought it back again. So they're an organisation that we've put a lot of money into a lot of different aspects of them. We've paid a power bill at the moment. We have provided a lot of support over the years. So we don't want to create a really heavy reliance. So sometimes it is good to start to pull back on these groups and giving them opportunities to find other means of funding and create a more kind of sustainable path going forward within our budgetary constraints. We don't want to set up a situation where the group's reliant on us long term has a really we have more applications. Something happens, we need to have that flexibility. So groups like Rules of Recreation Centre that have that really robust kind of internal infrastructure. It's good to bring those groups back instead of someone like a small organisation that just doesn't have the ability.
And another follow-up question. So sounds like overall, then is it? I mean, I know you've got a set pool of money to distribute, but were there more requests this year than previously? Is that part of the equation?
There weren't necessarily more requests. I think we're actually down on the numbers, but we didn't have much so last year we were able to recommend a little bit more because we had more DRF underspent in previous years. So we were able to bring things up a little bit to compensate, whereas this year we've had to, because that underspend, as we should do, we've spent that down. So we had to be a bit more, we had to look at this a bit harder and find savings where we could. So the DRF level remained at a healthy amount. So we do know there are we are expecting a number of DRFs already, for the next year. So we want to make sure we have that money in reserve to support those groups.
Thank you. So do we need to, we've got a space there for board decision. So in the past we have amended some of those. Is there a feeling amongst, I guess, the board that there any of those need to be changed?
Well, those are all pretty well established those.
Yeah.
I know
Good results.
myself was very interested in the information centre and whether that 7.5 would be enough to keep it sustainable.
Could I respond to that? Is that all right?
Yes, certainly.
Yeah, so in fact, all 3 information centres are subject to an annual plan resolution that went through.
Yes.
So staff are currently working with all 3 of them to identify their ongoing costs and their capacity. So so that will come back in some form.
Yep.
And in the meantime, that has been discussed with the group. But Steffi might like to comment, since I jumped in so quickly, on the Akaroa Information Centre and its actual ability to cope with 7,500.
As I understand it, they would obviously enjoy more, but they will scale their offering if they need to, according to what funding they can find.
Thanks, Seth. Yeah, and I guess there is a pathway into more funding. That's what I'm hearing here. Thank you. Councillor?
Oh, well, yeah, actually, you've sort of half answered my question there. I mean, there is a pathway into more funding, or we could just whack 7.5 grand onto that number there.
Well, there's
DRF.
there.
Yeah, and to save ourselves a lot of admin. But yeah, I mean, Pen's right. I mean, it is subject to would you advise against that?
Against just putting extra now?
Yeah.
Yes, I would, because that will reduce your DRF. The staff have been trying to protect you at 28,000.
Yeah, okay.
Because that's all you have for the whole, all the new board has for the whole
There
next
is
year.
still some underspend as well.
Yeah, there's a little bit, there's about 5,000 or 6,000, so
$5,000.
it will bring you just over the 30 odd, which you easily, that's about on average what you spend in a year. So, and with those centres, I mean, the plan would be, or the hope would be, that the business cases that come back with the 3 of them would be enough to try and attract some better funding than just that much, and not reliant on the board.
Yeah.
That would be.
Well, that's good. Yeah, thank you. That's good advice. Thank you.
So any other discussion, any other questions? Could I have a mover, please, on this? Thank you, Asif. And a seconder? I'll give it to Kathy. So, Kathy. All those in favour?
All right.
Pass. Thank you very much for your work.
Thanks, Dave.
Great work, a lot of work in that.
All right.
And to the other team members too, Joe, Steffi and Andrea, thank you, and Jane, thank you for that work.
I'm you're not a member of the West Bay Residents Association, are you?
Liaison, was, depends when that went through.
And you might need to make
Just to,
stand back from the table on
Right,
that
for the
particular one.
yeah, thank you.
Right,
Yes.
Is
moving
that
on.
all? Are there any other related conflicts of interest around
Thanks, Dan.
any of the applications? No. Thank you.
So moving on now to
Board projects.
core projects, yeah. Have a presenter with that?
Yep. I can launch into that. So each, yeah. So each year the board uses some money from their DRF which is coming out of that 28, to fund the 2 projects that you do, 2 of the 3 projects. There's a 3rd project that you do, but you only do it once every term, and that's Community Service Awards. So that doesn't need to come out of this year. But Summer with Your Neighbours, which is being advertised at the moment. And then you do purchase wreaths for Anzac Day for the board members to place, and you support Diamond Harbour with a small grant towards their service within this one here. So it's really the normal stuff that you do.
Okay,
Sounds good.
Very straightforward.
do we have a mover? Any questions?
No, this is, yep, rinse and repeat. It's good. I'll second.
Second,
Cool. Apologies,
that
was my report, by the way.
thank you. Very good,
Thorough.
sharp.
Easy to follow.
So
Great,
onto it.
lovely. So we're to, hang on, we're to consider the balance of the funds here in this proposed resolution, for the unspent balance of the Better Off Fund.
So, sorry, Mr. Chair, we didn't capture the second awards of the project.
Me.
Thank you, Tyler.
Thank you.
And the mover is,
Okay, there's something to consider here, proposed resolutions, 2 proposed resolutions for this. The unspent balance of the Better Off funding allocated for the Diamond Harbour Hall driveway repairs be reallocated to the Diamond Harbour and District Health Support Group to support the installation of a handrail in the Medical Centre car park. So, yes, I will move that.
Page are we on?
Where were we looking?
Mr. Chairman.
we've jumped one.
Will I jump on?
Yeah, coordinator.
Number 11.
There
You've got your
is
board summary report.
Board summary report, sorry, okay. Sorry about that, Linda.
That's all
Didn't
right.
mean to jump past you.
Hello again.
Something people think about before we get there. Please go on.
So I'm bringing the end of term report to you now, outlining your board plan achievements over the 22 to 25 term. We'll be following this up with a workshop on the 25th of August to discuss and formulate some advice for the income board about outstanding and current balances. I'll take this report as read. Are there any questions?
It's a very thorough report.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's worth taking note again. The work you guys put in is very sound, and thank you very much for being outrageous, getting us over the line. Thank you. So we have a mover for this.
No, yeah, how much there is.
In a second, then we'll have some discussion. Right?
yes.
So second,
Yes.
I'll second.
right? Okay, open for discussion. Any discussion?
Yeah, I think it's a really good report, and it gives the new board an opportunity basically to work on the things that they haven't made progress. It outlines a lot of items, and obviously views will change over the year. And, I think it gives a good overview and a good head start for the board. New board. Thank you.
We are intending a workshop with the board, with the old board, so that we can you can provide some quite specific input and feedback to the new board when they're doing the planning. So this is a really good summary of everything for you to.
So that's the 25th of August.
Yeah.
Congratulations to all those who are sitting here. Council. Okay, so we have a mover and a seconder. So all those in favour? Report. Aye. Passed. Thank you very much. The rest of the time. Now where was I?
The area report.
To the area.
Area report. Penelope.
Thank you. Yep, so we have all the staff present. If there are any questions that you have of them, you'll see a good list of all the projects and work that summary that the development advisors are working on. One of those is the point about the Diamond Harbour Medical Centre handrail. And so we are looking for the board to make a resolution about that. Thank you. Because there was a little bit left over. It just happens to be from the Diamond Harbour driveway project from your Better Off funding. There was $2,500 left over from that. And we're recommending that it be given to the Diamond Harbour Health Support Group so that they can do a handrail in their new medical centre car park area. The board has already contributed towards that car park. No, Capital Endowment Fund contributed towards the car park area for that medical centre. So council has already supported the external access, and this would be the board being able to just top that up with some handrail support using some leftover Better Off money.
That is 2,500. 2,500.
Yes, 2.5. Yeah. They need a bit more than that, I think, but that was the leftover money.
About
So
3,500 they need that they can fundraise for that, for the additional, if they get this contribution.
Okay.
So,
there's that. And the other point is, well, do you want to deal with that one first?
They could do it as
Yeah, I
a
think-
resolution, I'm just getting the one.
sorry, for just the first resolution. That the unspent balance of the Better Off funding allocated for the Diamond Harbour for driveway repairs be reallocated to the Diamond Harbour and District Support Group to support the installation of a handrail in the medical centre car park. As per 85 of the agenda. So can I'd like to move that. Second to Kathy. And any comments, discussion? All those in favour?
Chair, I must move that, please.
Sorry?
You're more.
I moved it.
Thank you.
Yeah. And there's the second, that the board request for a workshop on public toilets based Peninsula covering the allocations, condition, maintenance, program and repairs and renewal schedule. The page 88. I would like to move that gets adopted as well.
Yeah.
Second. Asif, any discussion on that?
That's on page 80.
Well, it's not. It's actually on page 92. The very top of page 92.
Yeah.
So that you had your information session with staff on the public toilets last time, and one of the things that you wanted to do as a result of that was to get into a bit more nitty gritty with the public toilets. So
Get to the bottom of the problem.
Yeah. So we thought we'd formalise that with a resolution, and staff are looking forward to doing that with you. So,
Very
yeah,
good.
and that's
So I moved it as second as Asif.
lovely.
Okay, all those in favour? That's all we have to do there. Thank you
No,
very much.
Mr. Chair, we did the two resolutions separately. Resolution 1 needs to be moved.
I believe I've done that.
I second, was that
Yeah.
the Diamond Harbour
Resolution
one?
1 was
Yeah.
moved by Nigel and seconded by Kathy.
Kathy,
And then-
it was,
This receiving the report.
the receiving the
Not
report.
in my ear.
I would like to move that the report be received. Seconder.
Yes.
Thank you, Jenny. And all those in favour? Aye. Thank you very much for your hard work, Penelope. Cool, okay, moving on. Elect members, information exchange. Start with maybe Asif.
Yeah, thank you. I was recently invited to attend AGM for Heritage Park. And they formally thanked council and the staff for organising their work, and they were quite happy with that. They're also looking for some volunteers to do some of some membership if anyone is interested from the community, then they can reach out to Graham or Paul can. Yeah, I think this is all for me. Yeah, thank you.
Good. So, Councillor, I'm sure you've got something to say.
It's actually really just been BAU and not particularly exciting over the last few weeks, Nigel, if I'm honest. And but probably just a couple of things just to raise, I guess probably the two kind of things that have really come to my attention locally lately. One, a lot of discussion around what's happening at the port, and I'm just, without going too deeply into that, like I think that there was a time when we got quite regular updates at this board from the local port. I mean, the port is in our board area. That seems to have sort of dropped away a little bit over the last few years. So probably the thing I'd like to say about that is I would encourage the incoming board to maybe think about that in their board plan and how to improve that engagement. Similarly, and this is sort of, again, it's sort of the details are yet to be finalised, but floating around about the diminishment of police presence in Littleton at the station here. Now, obviously, we had Roy and John come and see us a couple of weeks ago, and it was very welcome and appreciated, if not a little bit overdue. And the antisocial road user menace is really, I mean, I get a lot of emails, and it feels on some level like we're a little bit powerless. We advocate, we ask police, and it's really difficult to see any improvement. And there's only so much a board or a council can actually do. But again, like I would just encourage the incoming board, and I know at least 4 people in this room are going to be on it, that focus remains for the new term. Yeah, that's probably all I've got to say, really.
Gillian.
I think about the last month, really, aren't we? There's been a few things happening. Like the biggest thing probably that several of us attended was the local government conference. 2 days, and thank you very much to our board for sending some of us. And so that was interesting and entertaining, and gave us more to think about, especially some of the speeches by the various ministers and announcements. So yes, that was very good. I thought a great conference. And other than that, so there was I went to a talk. Kathy was there too, from the Littleton Energy Transition Society, where Roger Sutton came and gave him his facts and figures, because he's a numbers person and he definitely is. But yes, that was very interesting, and I see they have another talk coming up this week. So they're pretty active. They're very active, and have good speakers come along. Well, I think they interest me anyway. And just this, then Kathy was also there at the Naval Point, had the other session for the rec ground, like informing the members there. And although we'd heard it before from staff, I think it was still good to go along and, here's some of the questions that people there asked. I suppose it was mostly the club members, and just to have it repeated again, what's planned there and what's going on. So that was good. And then just yesterday there was the Community Open Day at Raupaki. Not yesterday, the day before. Saturday. That was a busy weekend. Which was well attended, and I couldn't unfortunately stay for the whole day. I think Kathy did. But yeah, I would have thought that people were really had a good reaction to the whole day, and it was very welcoming. And I see they have another date in September. So yeah, Yeah, it was a very good initiative. And some people really appreciated it. That I spoke to, even ones beforehand, they're like, oh, I've always wanted to come and never been able to or had the opportunity. So yeah, they appreciated that.
Nice.
Very good. Kathy,
Yeah, I think pretty much all covered. Yeah, and no, it's great. I was like, everything they've said. Yeah, thanks, Joe. It was a great event at the Marae yesterday, on Saturday, and keep getting feedback, and Andrea. And yeah, because I saw you there. Yeah, so that was really good. I think Casper had tried to do some feedback on the playground, but I'm not sure if they carried on because the weather was, so that, getting community engaged. Tree plantings, all good. Tara mentioned police. We've just noticed in Casper itself some little criminal activity, I suppose, like car break-ins and things like that. It's quite weird. It happens over real bad weather, and you think people would just stay home. Yeah, I had a resident talk about the Donald Street, sort of like what's happening around these spaces, and then another resident raised the intersection with Buxton's and Cressy Terrace, all the roadworks there, and then how it just keeps kind of dipping in and then gets fixed, and underrunners through there and stuff like that. So we said we could escalate it and see what the history was, but yeah.
Was it Gillian raising that?
Yeah, a neighbour. It's up in the hood, isn't it? Yes. Anyway, so yeah, so thank you. Great work from staff too. Yeah.
good. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And not a lot from me. I do want to really highlight though the local government conference, and the third one I've been to now, and I get a lot out of them, and I think it's very critical to get to the ones that will really provoke and answer some questions in your mind. I really enjoyed, we got lectured too heavily about austerity measures and sticking to the basics. I went to a workshop after that speech, and where the legal opinion of what basics were actually quite broad. And I was pleased they mentioned museums and libraries as part of the basics. So I discussed the ongoing problem. Sorry?
Stadiums.
Stadiums, definitely, that's a basic. But I also went to the big workshop on Maori wards, and I got a lot out of that. I thought that was very, very interesting. The perspective of, how Ngāi don't have them, and they're very northern, and how the representation is different because of them. And it was a very good, I got a lot of that. I went up with some of the speakers afterwards and continued the conversation. So I think well spent, and I would love to think that we were part of local government New Zealand going forward. That's just a personal opinion, and I don't know where you sit on this council, but maybe a statement around that would be good as a political year. But going forward,
I didn't support us leaving.
well, you weren't.
We lost by one vote, unfortunately.
Okay.
But anyway,
All right.
it's another story.
I think it's a good thing anyway. Personally. Thank you very much for the opportunity to go into that. All right. So if that's that.
I mean, I would absolutely encourage the new board to be supportive of membership of LGNZ.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to see us get some prizes. Have a great award. Anyway, moving on. So that's it for today. So in closing, we shall have a carrot here.
That's very cool.
We're good. Okay. We're here.
Tina.
Yes. Thank you, everybody.